Hi everyone! I'm here today with my May TBR, all of the books that I'm planning to read in May. But it is only a temporary TBR. My mood can change and I can't promise you that we'll be reading all of the books that I'm planning to read now. So we'll see how that goes. Last month TBR didn't go that well because I had about 14 or 15 books on my TBR pile and I read only 6 of them, but this month I've only got 8 books on my TBR pile, so it should be easier to complete. So the first book on my TBR is The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. This is the book that I borrowed from the library and I need to give it away on the 11th of May, and I don't really know what this book is about. It is about the night circus which appears at night, and I know that there's magic involved and it's like about 2 competitors or something like that. I don't really know, but I've heard many great things about this book, so I decided to pick it up, and I am currently on page 76 and I've been enjoying it. The next book on my TBR pile is Lost in a Book by Jennifer Donnelly. My father bought this book for me in the beginning of March when he visited me, and I love Beauty and the Beast story. This book is about Belle, who is in the Beast's library, and she finds an interesting book and then suddenly she's in a different world and things are not as they seem to be, and so now she doesn't even know if she can return, if she can come back. The next book is the 5th book from the series that I've been reading about, the Magical Academy. The author is Russian and the book is in Russian, and the author is Milena Zawojcinskaya. I really like the series. I have been really enjoying it, and this is the 5th book. I'm not sure if it's the last book in the series or if it's just the last book which is out at the moment. I don't know. But yeah, I find this reading very cozy. I like the main character, the things that she does, and I like books set in a magical academy or school. So I'm quite excited about reading this book. The next book on my TBR pile is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. I've had this book since November and I've been always interested in picking it up and read it, but that hasn't happened yet. This book is set in the 17th century in Amsterdam, and it is about a woman who just recently got married and she started her new life with her wealthy merchant Jones Brunt. And as a wedding present, he gives her a cabinet-sized replica of their home. It is furnished by an elusive miniaturist whose tiny creations ring eerily true. And now the main character realizes that there are some dangers that they face. It seems like this miniaturist holds their fate in her hands, but does she want to save them or destroy them? That sounds really interesting for me, and this is my priority this month because I definitely want to read it desperately. The next 3 books that I'm planning to read are the books from my previous TBR pile, but which I just didn't get around to reading them, and I'm going to read them on my e-reader. The first one is House of Secrets by Chris Columbus and Ned Vizzini. This book is about 2 children who've got everything that they want. They've got loving parents, a big house, and one day their life changed because their father suddenly lost his job as a result of an inexplicable transgression. And now the family is moving to Christoph House, which was built a century earlier by a troubled writer. And now the siblings find themselves on a journey into his imagination. Now they need to retrieve a dark book of untold power, and maybe they need to save their parents or the world. That sounds really interesting for me, and I'm really excited about reading it. I think it's a middle grade story, but I like such things. The next book is Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery, and I don't know much about this book. I know that it is a children's book, possibly, and a Canadian writer. I want to go into this book without knowing much about it. The next book, Fried Green Tomatoes at a Whistle Stop Cafe by Fanny Flagg. Katrina Reeds did a review on this book, and I've had this book on my e-reader for quite a while, so her review made me want to read this book more. The only thing I know about this book is that it's got two storylines. The first one is set in 1930s, and the second storyline is set in the 1980s. And it's about a cafe where about different people's lives and what things happened and things like that. And also Katrina explained it as a very comfortable, almost sweetest book she's ever read. So I'm really excited about reading it. And the last book that I'm planning to read in May is the book for an online book club. And this month we didn't have a theme, so we just suggested the books that we were interested in, and my book won. And it is I Am the Messenger by Markus Zusak. This book is about a man who lives his life. He's an average, ordinary man, but then one day he accidentally stops a robbery, and now he becomes the messenger. So it is about him going through town, helping people, uncovering secrets and things like that. But there's a big question: who's behind his mission? So those are all of the books that I'm planning to read in May, but like I said, my mood can change and I can start reading a completely different book. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, please let me know in the comments down below what books you're planning to read in May, or any of the thoughts that you have on the books that I have mentioned. So yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.